Welcome, everybody. My name is Robert Whitelt. Welcome to another episode of the More Listings Mastermind. This is a weekly mastermind. We meet every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're power, growth, and momentum. It all starts with the More Listings Mastermind. I'm going to go ahead and just share a few housekeeping items. And it's the football season. We're upon the Super Bowl's right around the corner. And any good athlete is not just going to show up on Sunday. They're going to stretch. They're going to do the basics. We're going to cover some basic necessities, non-negotiables, and then we're going to get started with our program. Why should you join the More Listings Mastermind each week? Well, it's simple. To take more listings in 2026. Each week, we provide proven systems to win more listings, generate multiple fast offers, maximize sellers' profit. Never had a seller say, I want the least amount of money. And we want to work smarter, not harder, guys. So again, each Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, you can join us live at morenowlistings.com. Now, who am I? My name is Robert Whitelt. I've been servicing the real estate community since February 14th, 1986. My 40-year anniversary, which I'm kind of blown away that it's gone by so fast. It's this coming February 14th, Valentine's Day. I've had the privilege of helping thousands of sellers, countless agents achieve success in any type of market. As a broker, trainer, mentor, my mission is simple: empower others to grow, win, and lead with purpose. We help agents that want now listings, more now listings. That's the name of the game. Working with FSBOs, expireds, pre-foreclosure, our database, our circle of influence, all of those. The reason why I want to point out notice of default, notice of trustee sales is because pre-foreclosure, there's a lot of folks that are going to need our help. We need to make sure we're there as a resource for them. But also, it sets us up for future business if you decide you want to get into the REO space, working with distressed property owners. So it's definitely a listing game, and working with the right lowest hanging fruit sellers is the name of the game. And because it is football season and the Vince Lombardi Trophy is right around the corner, I'm going to share a quote that I use just about every single week. The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. And that's Vince Lombardi. Now, let's go over the 5 habits to help you grow your real estate business today. A lot of you that have been on this call before are saying, Robert goes over the same stuff over and over. That is correct. We are going over the basics. We need to do this every single day of our business. Number 1, we need to lead generate. No exceptions. We need to block out at least 90 minutes every day for focused prospecting, not just call a FSBO and then go make a sandwich and then walk the dog and then come back and call another FSBO, but focused, uninterrupted prospecting. I would recommend you find a song that fires you up. Like I said, I use Whatever It Takes by Imagine Dragons. That gets me fired up and I'm unstoppable. Number 2, track and measure your numbers, because what gets measured gets improved. Track and measure your numbers. Number 3, set appointments daily. A day without a seller or a buyer appointment is a red flag in your business. Number 4, follow up like a pro. 80% of conversions happen in the follow-up. You've heard the term, a fortune is in the follow-up. That is a true statement. And number 5, sharpen your skills. I commend you for being on this mastermind. You want to role play. You want to study scripts. You want to watch top agent content, review objections daily. The quote for that is, do something today that your future self will thank you for. Now, I want to point out a couple of leads, and I'll put it in the chat box. This is the high converting seller leads, the lowest hanging fruit on the seller tree. I personally use My Plus Leads, and I've arranged with the nice folks over at My Plus Leads to get you a 14-day free trial. FSBOs, they're trying to sell. They're telling the whole world they want to sell. Expireds and cancels, guys, I got to tell you, that is the lowest hanging fruit. If you can contact a seller that obviously they didn't put their home on the market for fun or for practice, they wanted to sell, but oftentimes they were too high. We can reach out to them, and it's usually the second agent that gets the listing. 78% of sellers that are expired list with the next agent, and it's usually a different agent. Okay, pre-foreclosures, they need our help. Enough said there. And then one last thing I want to bring up is the iList USA, the cash offers, instant cash offers. If you don't have a cash offer platform, you're going to be eliminated from multiple conversations with sellers that think they want a cash offer until they see that cash offer. But this is the best way to get a cash offer within 3 to 5 seconds, guys. 3 to 5 seconds a full price cash offer. It's an amazing tool. Again, I'll drop it in the chat box. But one thing I like to talk about before we get started with our program, what kind of views are you getting to your property? Because when you take a listing, the number one goal is to get as many eyes on that property as possible. For example, 14 days, we had just under 9,000 views. But more importantly, we had 789 saves. That's indicative of the open house traffic, guys. And let me show you Kathy Ryan. I think she's even on this call. This is an open house she did recently. 884 people to the open house. Time out. 884. I'll have Kathy come talk about that here in a minute. That's what I'm talking about. People actually, sellers in the neighborhood, come and they point to this. I say, I want this for my home. I'm telling you, a lot of sellers come to me and say, I want the same thing. So I'll have Kathy talk about how that works. I believe the record for our team is over 1,200. That's a big number. We average between 2, 3, 400, depending on the property. But let's be clear: if it's a high rise in downtown LA, you may not get as much traffic as a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in a single family development. Does that make sense? That's the kind of things you want to do, though. But also, what I want to bring up before we get started is your business efficient and effective? Are you doing all of your listing appointments via Zoom? Carla and I, my bride, we traveled the country for 2 years in our motorhome. Can you imagine if I wasn't taking Zoom listing appointments? I'd have to drive the motorhome back just to take a listing? No thanks. And I certainly don't want to drive in the 91 traffic, guys. Talk to me about that, right? My point is, are you being efficient and effective? It all can be done via Zoom. This is me, a picture of me. My wife put together a little marketing piece. I took 4 listings from the beach in Cabo. The only thing you don't see is the Corona that's right on the other side of that laptop. Okay. So with that said, if you want to drive more traffic to your listings, I encourage you to reach out to me. Take a scan of this QR code, set up a quick 30-minute strategy session. Let's take a look under the hood. Let's see what's going on in your business, and let's make things happen. So with that said, I want to get started with today's program. But before we do, I want to bring in some special guests of ours, amazing team players for a bonus session. So with that said, my good buddy, excellent drummer, wonderful father, and a great swimmer, and let alone a really amazing lender, John. What's going on in the mortgage space today, brother?
Well, hello everybody. John Allen, Bear Financial. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate the kind introduction to all the things I do aside from mortgages, right? So I'll keep it quick, but just want to give you guys some headlines on what is happening right now in the mortgage world. So this week, slight uptick in rates, but the headline is 75 bips lower than 1 year ago. Everyone's kind of on that pace, like knowing that rates have been on a decline and they should continue. And we can talk about, what that means. Purchase apps flat this week, but again, headline is 18% year over year. And in the last 2 weeks, purchase volume at highest level in 3 years. So the buyers are out there, even though there's been some pockets of slowing and things like that. There's a lot kind of moving along, volatility, but there's some good things happening. So takeaways, there's some buyer excitement from the rates lowering, and I think that will keep prices relatively steady. So the buyers on the fence waiting for prices to drop out, I, I don't see happening. Depends on the market, depends on the power, the purchase place, your purchase price you're kind of talking about. I'd say like in Southern California, 900 to 1.1 is a very popular area right now and competitive. So there's sometimes multiple offers still on that. You get above that, like 1.2 and above, the air starts to thin. Rates projected to continue to fall. That's going to really impact buyer pool. Doesn't always happen right away, but think of it, every 0.5%, 0.75%, that is increasing the prospective buyer pool by millions of people every time because of the affordability. So again, kind of some key takeaways. Buyer pool could increase. If someone's on the fence, we can fix the rate, right? There's the cliche saying, date the rate, marry the house, date the rate, whatever. Well, there's a lot of people breaking up with their original rate that they bought the house a year ago. I'm doing them, and that works. And as their home value increases, um, their payment is going down. So it hurts the worst right at the beginning. So, anyways, that's the mortgage minute. I'm sure there's more we could dive into, but I want to keep it to 60 seconds if I could.
Well, John, thank you. We certainly appreciate your updates. And I think the biggest thing, the reason why I like bringing you on is I'm not asking for agents to become lenders. I'm asking them to be a little bit more educated on what's happening in the lending space as it relates to buyers, and it also affects sellers. So, John, thank you for that. Make sure you reach out to John and get your own mortgage update and see what's going on. And if anything else, get your backup quarterback. We're keeping it with the Super Bowl theme. Reach out to John. There's his information on the screen. We'll give you a couple of seconds to go ahead and do that. John, thank you so much, my brother. My brother, Tim Yates is the founder of My Legacy Link. We host a podcast each week, Legacy and Listings, every Tuesday at 12 o'clock. We're using estate planning to get more listings. Tim, tell us a little bit about that.
Robert, thanks for having me on today, my friend. My name is Tim Yates. I founded an estate planning firm. Actually, we're definitely a technology firm now. About a decade ago, with my wife Carrie, who is our firm's lead attorney, and we've been focusing on disrupting the estate planning industry, working directly with real estate agents. So the concept is simple. It's help agents get more listings. We in turn get more estate plans. So when you look at the numbers here statistically, Robert, you and I've talked a lot about this, all right? Here in California, specifically California, we're talking about 87.3% of all homeowners do not have their homes protected in a living trust. 87.3. That equates to what numbers, Robert, for your database?
I would say about 9 out of 10 do not have it, no matter what your database is.
Yeah. I mean, so when you think about that is a scary thing. That's why the court calendar is so backlogged in all the counties with probate cases. So, anyways, we've used that information as a way to build a fantastic business model that we call the legacy listing system, and it's something that you and I highlight every Tuesday, at 12 o'clock. So we definitely want people to come and check it out and learn how they can utilize estate planning to really take their business to a whole new level.
Excellent. I appreciate it. And I think the biggest takeaway for me there is, as an agent, I'm reaching out to my database constantly. If you're not, you're missing out business. But I'm reaching out to them constantly. And if I know that 9 out of 10 of them are more than likely not going to have a living trust, something that protects them, number one, it's free for the agents. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just an introduction. And then there's just so many features and benefits other than just, hey, do you want to buy, sell, or invest every time we talk to somebody? Reach out with another nugget. So, Tim, as always, I appreciate you. And again, Tuesdays, you can drop that information in the chat box for everyone. Every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, jump on there or just scan this right here and see what the My Legacy link's all about. Tim, thank you so much.
Thanks, Robert.
Here's the moment we've been waiting for. This is, I'm super excited. I more than likely will forget that I'm even hosting this and just start taking really good notes. I do that quite a bit with my special guests. But Joseph Limo, Coach Joseph Limo, and Coach Lawrence King, two gentlemen that I have the most amount of respect for. We currently are in business together since March of 2019, I believe, when we came up to Rancho Cucamonga back in the day. And you have your own weekly mastermind. It's the How to Real Estate Mastermind. And Lawrence, you'll have yours as well, your circle of influence. We have 20 plus coaches, Joseph. Is that the number I'm thinking?
Yep. It's upwards of 22, if I'm not mistaken.
22.
Real estate
We're
coaches.
always adding value to our agents. And we're going to dive into that today. So I'm going to lower my screen so we can focus in on our special guest. If you have any questions for either Tim or John, or our speakers for today, just put it in the chat box and we'll certainly review when we get going. So with that said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, go to speaker mode, and we're going to go ahead and get this party started. Joseph, you're first. First thing I'd like to know, I already know you're awesome. I already know you're awesome, but can you do me a favor? Tell the group, who's Joseph Limo?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. I've been in the real estate space for about 20 years. I'm a real estate broker here in Southern California, coach agents, and I'm actually a professor of real estate at Mount San Antonio College. I actually went to school to be a teacher. My life hack was that my favorite year growing up was third grade, and we would celebrate every holiday for like a month. So I was like, life hack, I'm going to become a teacher. Well, I immediately realized I'm way more ambitious than that and started real estate with my aunt and uncle down in your neck of the woods, North County Coastal,
I know them
Del
well.
Mar, La Jolla areas. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then I've
that's
been
great.
here ever
So,
since. Can't get rid of
and
me
you
that easy.
and you know what? You won an award recently. Tell me a little bit about that award you won at the EXP Con.
Right there. It's one that probably means the most to me, man. When I was growing up, my grandfather was like my dad, and the one thing he taught me is, your word is your bond, number one, and number two, to be a good person, you have to do the right things, even when no one's looking, and even if no one will ever find out. And so that award right there is for him and all the other people who raised me. And it was eXp Realty's um, Ethics in Action Award, which is awarded to one agent every single year for the entire brokerage. So yeah, that one does mean a ton to me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
thank you.
that's huge, man. I tell you what, I was there. My wife and I were there. Carla and I were cheering you on, and I think we shared the stage that day. I won REO
Did.
Broker of the Year. But I tell you what, the ethics is what lacks. There's a lot of lack of ethics in our business. So congratulations on that.
Thank you,
And
man.
we're going to get to some of the coaching you do here in a moment. We want to share that, and we want to keep in mind this is coaching that we offer to all agents, and it's an amazing tool, and most agents don't know about it. So we're certainly going to cover that. Lawrence King is in the house. Let's go to Lawrence King. How you doing,
Good day,
buddy?
good day, good day. Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, we can hear you beautifully. So why don't we do this? Why don't we tell everybody my mother's favorite realtor is you? Can you tell us a little about Lawrence King?
So, Lawrence King got started in real estate from a transition from property management to real estate. My mentor is Joseph Limo.
It is.
I actually was at a different brokerage with Joseph Limo as my mentor. So Lawrence King started from Joseph. Lawrence King is a father, a coach in our group. We're doing a sphere of influence reboot where I show agents how to reach out to people in this thing here. Right? There's always a deal in this phone here. I connect with multiple coaches and people like Tim Yates and people like John Allen to make sure I bring those together for my sphere of influence. They know to come to me. I'm the direct go-to person. I love referrals. Most of my business is based off referrals anyways. I think anybody in the real estate space, you really most of your business is coming from people you know or know you, right? So that's Lawrence King. That's what I do for our group here. We have a awesome website that shows some of the stuff that we do within our group. We're gonna get to that in a few.
Well, with that said, Joseph, thanks for that. Lawrence, thank you for that. Let's stay with you, Lawrence, real quick. Let's
Yes, sir.
talk about, you mentioned the website and all the tools. Let's let's dive into that a little bit, and let's share those tools. Let's share it with the agents. And again, this is for agents that are interested in growing their business. It doesn't matter what brand you're at. It doesn't matter any of that. It just we want to help agents grow. Lawrence, I went ahead and give you access to go ahead and share. So go ahead and knock it out,
Gotcha.
man.
Gotcha. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull this thing over. Let's see. Yep, I got access. Cool. And on the very front of this thing is Joseph Limo talking on our website. So this is the alliancere.com. So anybody that's a part of our group, you have access to this. Anybody that's not, invite them, right? And basically what this goes through is an intro about our group. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Let me know. You guys hear?
Not yet.
Clients group here inside of eXp Realty is unlike anything else in the
There
industry.
we go.
We're not a team. We're a community of high character professionals who pour into one another, challenge each other, and rise together. We have more than 20 dedicated coaches who actively produce, actively negotiate, and actively build businesses. So we're not a bunch of gurus who are just talking from the sidelines. This is a place where agents feel supported, connected, and empowered, even through EXP's virtual brokerage model, simply because our culture is stronger than most in-person offices. One thing has remained absolutely true about our industry. Real estate rewards those who combine skill, integrity, and consistency. But most agents never get the leadership, the training, or the community that they need to rise to their fullest potential. And that's really why we created the Alliance. What sets us apart isn't just the titles or the years of experience, it's really in the way that we lead. We're in the trenches with our agents every single day. We don't teach theory. We never ask anyone to do something that we haven't already done, that we haven't already mastered, or that we haven't even tested for ourselves. Our coaching is grounded in real conversations with real clients, real negotiations, real challenges, and of course, real solutions. So if you're an agent who wants more support, more skill, more confidence, more income, and of course, more leads, just know that's the easy part. We got you covered there. Then you are in the right place. Our mission is to help you not just build a successful career, but to build a sustainable and scalable business that's going to create options, freedom, and truly generational opportunities for your family. I'm Joseph Limo, and we are honored to welcome you to the Alliance.
Yes. I've watched it like 5 times yesterday. It was awesome. I love that.
So you come to our site, you want one-on-one training, all that good stuff with any of our coaches down here. I can go to Robert's page right here and schedule directly with Robert. Okay. Any agent that you may be talking to that may be struggling in their business, we have different coaches that are dedicated to our group within the Alliance to provide them with education or support in any way, right? Obviously, Robert Whitekell specializes in FSBOs, expires, pre-foreclosures, and REO. We know that, right? Not a lot of agents have that in their group. So, Robert, glad to have you on there too as well. Let me stop this one. So that's our website, goes through all of our coaches. We have more coaches to add on here, but this pretty much gives us an idea of what we're doing within our group here.
I love it. I love it. And, Joseph, let's go to you. Tell us a little bit about the how-to mastermind, being a professor, you are a great leader. And let's talk a little bit more about your how-to masterminds on Mondays.
Absolutely. And just know, like, what really sets our group apart with all of our coaches. I mean, Robert, you're an integral one. Kathy, Lawrence, there's so many of us. What really sets it apart is that we kind of approach agents in 2 different ways. We know that agents have like this growth trajectory, right? And so like what an agent needs when they're first starting in the business is very different than when they start to get very productive. But that's also different when they start to build a team, and also different when they really want to expand, like a massive organization. So we have coaches that are there to really specialize along that success path. Then the second thing is we have coaches that help niche down. You're one of them, Robert. Someone really wants to focus in on this online offer approach to taking listings. It's what you do every single day. So the Monday Mastermind is something that I've put together for all agents who are really focused on their production. So I have this every single Monday, and my real focus is when I have guests on or when I'm there for us to just mastermind together, I always want to get down to one simple thing. How? I'm sick and tired of all the real estate gurus out there, all the people who, claim to have done something at one point in their life, but they can't answer one question past the surface level. That won't fly on my mastermind. And if anyone ever comes to that, not intentionally, but it'll be pretty obvious that they don't really have the ability to show through leadership. So my mastermind really focuses on not only what to do, because I think most agents know what to do. It's getting into the nitty-gritty about how to get it done.
Amen. I love it. And Lawrence, let's expand on your sphere of influence. And I love the whole story about your mother's favorite realtor. I mean, I think that's the coolest tagline in the history of the world. Tell us a little bit about some of the tools, whether it be your sphere of influence, coaching, and what other things you'd like to expand on in regarding to the website before you get moving?
So basically what we do on the sphere of influence side is I go through a weekly training once a week, basically on ways to reach out to your sphere and reasons for that, meaning birthdays, anniversaries, home anniversaries, kids' birthdays, all that get different stuff, and I show you ways to um, invite to certain events that may be going on in that local area and say, hey, let's meet up and such and such having a get together over here. So we show different ways how to reach out on a monthly basis, yearly, in between quarterly, not just always about real estate, right? Because nobody wants to be bored with just, hey, the market's up, the market's down. We give other reasons to reach out, right? So if I don't have a reason to reach out to you, or if I don't have, Robert, if I don't have your birthday, my first call is, Robert, who's your favorite realtor?
You are, baby.
Good. Robert, the reason why I'm calling is because I don't have your birthday in my phone. What's your birthday?
9 September 7th. Make sure everybody on this call remembers
September 7th.
that.
Robert, I want you to have an awesome day. I appreciate it. I needed to update my book. Everything good, family?
Everything is fantastic.
Great. That's one reach out for me for any of our leads. Now I have 20 other reasons to reach out to them. Hey, Robert, do you have your property in a trust? Because I don't see it on title. Do you know why
Absolutely.
you needed to have it in trust?
No, it is actually in a trust, but I'm of the 1% that has it.
Okay. So it's in a trust. When's the last time you've had your trust updated or something has changed in your life since you had that
I
trust?
update it actually every year, but I'm probably not the norm.
Okay. Tim Yates is my go-to guy for that. That's a second reach out, right? Third reach out is, Robert, I see you have 600,000 of equity in your property. Have you thought about buying a rental property, investment property?
I've been eyeing it.
Okay. Let me do this. Let me send you a couple properties that I think has great margins on it. Would you be opposed to that?
Absolutely not.
Third reach out, right? So constantly anniversaries, birthdays, kids' birthdays, all that stuff is all a reach out throughout the whole entire year. So that's what I do.
And you know what, Lawrence? Those are, you would think those would be common sense things, but it's not. We all overlook it. I do birthdays all the time. By the way, yesterday was your birthday, so happy birthday, my friend.
Thank
I
you, man.
I'm a big I love birthdays. My wife literally, when we wake up, she goes to Facebook and finds out whose birthday it is, or goes to our CRM, finds it out. I reach out, I call, I text, I send smoke signals. I'm a big birthday guy. I love it. Um, People like that. People like to be acknowledged on their birthday. They like to be acknowledged when great things happen. They like to be acknowledged, and heard. And that's just what people enjoy. And that's the kind of stuff we need to do. So that's what we're doing. And again, it seems remedial, but it's a necessity. Just like prospecting every day, it seems like it's something you need to do on a regular basis. So I really appreciate it. And I think another thing which is key is like using the living trust, like what Tim's doing. It doesn't cost the agents anything to know about it. I would recommend you reach out to Tim and find out what's going on, but it's another reason to have a conversation with a database. Not only are they maybe looking to buy, sell, or invest, but somebody that they know is looking to buy, sell, or invest, and you're coming with contribution. And that's the big takeaway for me. What else, Lawrence, did you want to add to that before we go to Mr. Joseph Limo?
So, I mean, the other thing that I would probably add, I was just thinking about this as we were talking. So, these reach outs are all done either between your phone, email, uh, social media, right? But this all, like, you'll be surprised at how many people don't actually have people's birthday in their
Yeah.
phone, right? Or in their CRM system, period. That is always a good reason to reach out people, and people feel good about that. So I would advise everyone to take a look at your sphere, see what information you have on it. If you don't have this stuff that we're talking about, it's an easy reach out, especially if you
Amen.
haven't talked to them in a while.
Amen, brother. I appreciate it. Joseph Limo, back to you. What do we want to say? We got a new agent that say they just got their license. I'm a mentor. Like I think you and Lawrence are both mentors, and I really let me tell you why I like being a mentor because it keeps me in my game. It keeps me fresh. It keeps me ready. It keeps me in today. Because as you get older and you start closing transactions, 40 years of real estate, it just starts to become there's a lot of things we don't know, and it's moving really fast. And it being a mentor helps me stay in the know. I coach, train, and mentor agents all over the country. And I have agents that literally the only real estate they are even aware of is what they learned to take their test. They've never had any transactional awareness. Lawrence, what, or excuse me, Joseph, what are you doing with, what's your message to the newer agent that's just getting started?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to acknowledge like both you and Lawrence, like you guys are excellent testimonials about what it looks like when you're being led by someone still in the trench, right? Having the proper messaging is why Lawrence can pick up the phone, 15, 20 times a year to one person in his database, have a great relationship, continue to build that relationship because he knows his messaging, he knows why he's reaching out to him, and that all that confidence is there. Like these are fun and great conversations for him. And I think a lot of people don't know how to call and ask for a birthday. Number one, because they haven't done it. Number two, because they're not confident in their message. So being with the right people is absolutely key. It does take a village. But coming back to like more of the foundation of what you're asking, Robert, and I think it's really simple right now. And this is not only true for new agents, okay? This has been true for me. All right. Let's just all be clear. The last few years in our industry have been rough. What was the stat that just came out last week? 70% of real estate agents didn't close a transaction last year.
Yeah, those numbers
Like
are
I, I,
yeah.
I mean, I can't afford that, man. Like this is my livelihood. My family survives on my real estate business. Full stop. Okay. So I don't have that luxury to just be like, oh, I'm playing real estate. So this has been a very eye-opening and yet at the same time really beautiful last couple of years because what it caused all of us to do is go, okay, let's shed the ego. I know what kind of volume I used to get by not even thinking about volume. People would call me because they know me, but a lot of those people weren't transacting. So, had to shed the ego because I think a lot of agents that left or a lot of agents that don't actually get started well when they first come into real estate is like call people, knock on doors, host an open house. I'm too good for that, or I don't want to do that, or man, that seems hard. At the end of the day, we got to get rid of that, even if we're an established agent. Go, I know what it took to get me here. It was that putting myself in uncomfortable situations, going out there and doing the hard work. Those are the same things fundamentally that are going to get you exactly where you want to be. All right. So I think just getting very comfortable with being uncomfortable is a non-starter. Like you have to do that. If you're not doing that, you're not going to go anywhere. And then I think there's some also very strategic and tactical ways that growth is really important. Really quick, I think having a business plan. Most agents don't do them. Okay. A lot of new agents don't even know what we're talking about. And hey, yeah, there's no wrong way to business plan, but there's definitely superior ways to business plan than others. And then really getting hyper focused and really, really concrete in your commitment to what your approaches are going to be. I'm finding right now for me, it's fine if I have 50 different things that can lead me to a deal, but I'm hyper focused on like two things a day, like really diligent about it. And I think that's where people need to put a lot of focus in again. And then finally, just really have that constant pursuit of leveling up, be it building our skills, integration of AI. Don't let AI be the leader, by the way. You lead AI to make you better. Okay. And then third, just building out those systems and processes because even when we have rough years or when we're first starting real estate, they're very similar. The growth years, you won't feel them for 18 months. The growth years are you grinding it out, doing the right things, making the phone calls, building the relationships, following up, and not being focused on a result. 18 months later, you will not be able to turn that volume down simply because you've already built the engine and now it's humming. So those are the things that I think all of us need to focus on, not only as new agents, but even as like, agents who have just been through the battle. Those are the things that we need to be aware of so we can always get right back where we need to be and in fact grow even stronger because of it.
I love it. I love it. Lawrence, anything to expand on that?
No, that's why he's my mentor.
I love it. You know what? I love that. I have a question for I'm going to bring Kathy Ryan on real quick because she's one of our coaches. Uh, I adore Kathy. She is a rock star. She's our cash offers coach. Kathy, are you there?
I'm here.
I'm
Yeah,
so excited to see you.
yeah, it's good to see you. I'm back.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm back.
had some stuff, but now
Yeah.
you're back on track. So tell us, Kathy, a little bit about your cash offers coaching that you're doing.
Well, Cash Offers is another tool that we can use to get listings. And it also sets us apart from other agents because a lot of agents don't know about these tools. Like your online offers tool and the cash offer tool goes along with opening that conversation to lead to the online offers tool to
Sure.
get the listing. So you mentioned platforms like iList. If you didn't have iList, you need to have iList. Um, their iList is a wonderful tool. It partnered with a lot of different companies that will all you do is put in an address and you get instant cash offers. So there's quite a few different vendors in all states. They may not be the same vendors, but iList can get you offers no matter if you're here or if you're in New York. So yeah, it's a great tool. And I talk about strategies on how to use the cash offer to start the conversation to get the listing.
Kathy, a question for you. What does it cost to come to your coaching?
Nothing.
That's a good price. I like free. I like somebody,
Zero free. $0 free.
all of our coaches, Joseph, Lawrence, Kathy, and all the others, they literally offer a good hour to 2 hours a week of free coaching. I'm no different. I have my masterminds we do. I have a podcast on Tuesdays with Tim Yates. That's free coaching. I have today's More Listings Mastermind where we bring wonderful guests on every week. But on Fridays, I have it's called More Listings Training Coaching. It is a no agenda, what's on your mind, what's working, what's not working, because that's the biggest thing we need to understand is what's not working so we can identify it and stop doing it. Because so many of us, me included, will keep going, keep going, keep going, because that's what we were taught. If it's not working, we need to tweak it. It's called an in-flight adjustment. So every Friday at 10 a.m., we do it's what's on your mind. There's no agenda. So I welcome everybody. Then I'll put it in the chat box too. But I think at the end of the day, if you're not surrounded by powerful agents that are offering their time to help you grow, you're missing out. I look at it this way, and Joseph, I'll get rich to you in a second. Look at it this way. If you owned a Tesla, that's a great car. But if you pull it in the garage and you don't plug it in, guess what? You're not going anywhere. So my point is the agents that plug into the tools, number one, identifying that the tools even exist. They do exist. It's almost too much. I got to be clear with you. It's almost too much. However, how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. Joseph Limo, what do you got?
Well, you're spot on, Robert. And this is what I really appreciate about you, Kathy, Lawrence, Larry, all of our coaches, really. You're not going to get a bunch of fluff here, man. I'm sorry, but gone are the days of the coach showing up. I'm perfect. My business is perfect. Nothing ever goes wrong for me. I show up every day. My schedule is perfect. I don't get objections. Come on, guys, that stuff isn't real, you know. And I think that as far as our society goes, and especially the agent demographic, they've caught on to that's just a bunch of nonsense, man. And it pains me because sometimes you'll see those coaches come back after like 5 years of that facade and be like, "Oh man, I was bankrupt," and it's like, well, why don't you just honest with them then? Because the way that we approach coaching is like, "Hey, look, you're going through a hard time. I've been through one too. Let's be on that journey together. And hey, sometimes things are harder than others, but this is how we come together and truly mastermind. Not me facilitating, okay? Not me training you, but us masterminding. So that way we can find not only what's not working, Robert, but how to fix it. And that is where things really, really gel together for people to actually take from a moment with you, Robert, implement it in their business and actually get results. So I appreciate the authenticity that you guys bring to the table.
Well, you know what the biggest thing is, I literally am coming from contribution. I want to help agents grow. why I'm a mentor, but that's why I reach out to agents that are maybe they're almost there. They just got to make a couple of fine tune and then boom, they start doing it. I've helped a couple of agents just already this year. A couple of them have never sold real estate ever. They got their license and they're like, okay, now what? I showed them exactly how to prospect, what scripts, who to call, what to say, how to do it, set up the appointment, and I've walked them through it and they're already getting listings. But it does take work. Like I said in the very beginning, success becomes before work, only in the dictionary. My point is we need to roll up our sleeves and actually get the work done.
Can I add something to that?
Please do.
A lot of people get into real estate and think it's going to be an easy check and it's going to be a large check. They forget that, as you said, you got to work at it. So they stop that 9 to 5 mentality. Well, I got to work for somebody. Well, you are working for somebody. You're working for your family. Get to work.
I love it.
Schedule the time, get to work because it's not going to fall in your lap.
I love it. Kathy, you're so right. And I think the biggest thing that I would take away from that is, do we know what our why is? We have a powerful enough why to get on the phone each and every day and have conversations with sellers that, yes, sometimes they get a little aggro. Sometimes they hang up on you. Oh no. But I think at the end of the day, it's just the things you need to do. I mean, I'm a big fan of calling. I'll text. Don't send emails very often. Those fall on deaf ears. But I love calling because I know what I'm talking about. I know how to have a conversation with a seller. So I like going from point A to point B as quickly as possible. My point is you got to find what works for you. Everybody, there's tools out there. You just got to fill your tool belt with the tools that you're comfortable with and using, whether it be the eyeless cash offers. Great platform, by the way. It's got seller leads. I recommend it. I put a link in the chat. Go ahead and reach out to it. It's free, 14 days. Check it out. But one word of caution, don't sign up for it yet and then not use it, because then those 14 days come out, they will charge your card. I recommend against that. Go there and actually use the tools. Kathy, thank you so much for being on. And I'm so glad that you're back and rocking and rolling. And it's a pleasure. We've done some classes together. We've collaborated so many times. And it's really good to see you.
So if they sign up for iList, tell them to come Tuesday and I can show them how to use it.
There we go. And Kathy, you put your information in the chat box, I see.
Yes.
And so that's her Cash Offer Mastermind Tuesdays at 10 a.m. And go check it out. I'm telling you, she's got some great stuff. It literally takes 3, maybe 5 seconds to get a cash offer. If nothing else, you're equipped to have a conversation with a seller. What do they all want? An offer. Do you want an offer? You got an offer? You bet. I got multiple offers, but I need to know a little bit more about your home. And just so we're clear on the cash offers, most of those cash offers don't fly, but guess what? You're now in the conversation, and then you can turn them into a potential seller. That's awesome. Kathy, thank you so much. Joseph Limo.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit more. I mean, like for instance, what's the single most important action that agents must take to succeed in today's market? And I'm going to ask you the same question, Lawrence and Kathy, after that. So get ready with your answer.
I think it's really simple. Conversations with more people. That's it. Conversations with people. At the end of the day, that's what we need more of. Now, there's a million different ways we can approach that. You could be networking. And I think networking is a skill that people don't even understand. Robert, you helped me to understand the importance of knowing the right attorneys locally so I can secure business from them, right? But that's not hey, I'm a real estate agent, you should send me business, here's my card kind of approach. It is an ongoing relationship building and value driven approach to making sure that person has a high level of comfort and sees how key you are to their business, meaning they can give their clients to you. So, for example, I have an attorney that I met, and this morning I had yet another meeting with them where we were talking about the integration of AI in my business so I could help him see how to do it into his business. Again, adding value. So having more conversations with more people. This could be as simple as, when you help a buyer close on a house, get that thank you card or that welcome flag and go hit the neighbors and say, hey, it doesn't even have to be your client, by the way. If you see a closing in your neighborhood or your farm area, Go take a thank you card or a welcome flag, knock all the neighbors and say, I'm just trying to help this new person here, this new person to the community, have a really great welcome to the neighborhood. You want to start having dialogues with people, just think outside the box, but then you have to put in the work because that's a great idea, but it's just that unless you actually go and do the effort. But you have more conversations with more people, full stop. I think fundamentally, that's the number one thing all of us need to do to expand our opportunities.
You
That's
know
how we
what?
get lucky.
I love it, Joseph. That's a big thing that we overlook. You talked about conversations. That's obvious. But then if you want to drill down, conversations with the right people,
Yeah.
right sellers, FISBOs, expireds, pre-foreclosures, sellers with their hands up, attorneys. The reason why I like attorneys, guys, it's multiple transactions. It's a relationship that says, oh, here's another client for you, Robert. Here's another client. Oh, Robert, guess what? I was at a conference this weekend with a couple of my buddies in the law business, and I gave them your information. They should be calling you. I like that kind of business because if you know me well, I'm a no nonsense guy. I'm not a big fluff guy. I'm a let's get in, get out. I don't care how the clock was built. I just want to know what time it is kind of guy. Attorneys are fantastic stream of business, as are corporate sellers. So I love it. The conversations we need to be having more, but more importantly, Joseph, we need to track and measure those conversations,
Amen.
make them impactful. That's key. You talked about attorneys, of course. You threw in a bonus there about farming. That's a great tool, by the way. If somebody just closed a home, I like when a new listing comes up in the neighborhood, go knock 100 doors and let everybody know there's a new listing because most of the homeowners in the area aren't even aware of that listing. And there's always two or three others that are thinking of selling their home as well. And you get first crack at it. I love it. Thank
I
you,
have a
Joe.
4 door knock strategy around that, Robert, and you nailed
Let's
it.
share. Let's
Because
expand on that.
sure, like this is super easy. And to remember, obviously, if it's your listing or a listing in your office, it's easier, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. You see, or if it's your listing, obviously, door knock number one, hey, just took a listing. It's going to be on the market soon. When you see a drone in the sky on Tuesday of next week, don't be alarmed. That's just the level of marketing that I do. Oh, and by the way, we're going to have this killer open house, but I'll come back and invite you to that. Anyway, just want to introduce myself. See ya. I want to have my door knocks where people are happy to answer the door again. Okay. Door knock number two, I already alluded to it. Open house coming up, right? Hey, I mentioned that listing's up and live, ready to go. We're going to have our big open house this weekend. So just know there might be a ton of traffic. That's me. Sorry, but I'm also trying to help you guys build your equity. By the way, I'm doing a private preview just for all of you in the neighborhood an hour before the open house. So are you around between 11 and 12 on Saturday? If yes, great. Come and, come by and check it out. Have some refreshments for you. By the way, if you know anyone trying to buy in this neighborhood, bring them before the general public comes. I'd love for them to have a first crack at it. See ya. See you Saturday, right? That's it. I'm making it easy. The third one's obvious. Why are we going to knock the door again? Property's under contract. Boom. All right. So, hey, thanks again for coming to the open house, or sorry you couldn't make it. As I promised in the beginning, I'm always going to keep you updated. The home down the street, we officially have under contract. So we're really excited. In the next 30 days, you should have a new neighbor and a new bullet point as far as your equity growth. Now, obviously, people want to know what. If I say it's under contract, what do they want to know?
The price.
Bingo. And I want them to ask that question. I'm baiting them to. And I just simply help them understand, well, at this phase of the purchase, there's still some negotiation to be had. We haven't had our inspection or our appraisal yet, but here's what I promise. Once we close and I can share with you those details that are accurate, how about this? I'm going to come back and tell you personally exactly what it closed for. Is that fair? Now they're inviting me back to their house. So fourth door knock is obviously house closed. Here's what it sold for. Now, you always have to be in integrity on this, but guess how many offers we had? And if it's anything like Robert's house, it's like, yeah, we had 53 of them, right? But whatever the number is the number. So even if it's 3, okay? Hey, we had 3 offers on that home. And as you know, our seller could only select one. So I'm here to not only share that with you, I'm actually here to do a favor of the other 2 parties because they're devastated. They're really hungry and ready to buy in this neighborhood and they couldn't. Have you considered selling your home? No. No problem. Any neighbors around here talk about it because, again, I've got these two buyers who are hungry and their offers were generous. Who do you know that's thought about selling their home? I mean, anyone can go door knock and be like, I just sold a home down the street. Do you want to sell yours? Good luck. But if you keep showing up like that person who's adding value, building community, and again, you can pepper in the fifth one we talked about. Hey, they're going to close next week. I want to have everyone sign this welcome banner for the new homeowner that's going to be your neighbor. I mean, think about the sense of community that you're building. That's how you ask for the business because you've earned the right.
Those are fire. And you know what the good news is, guys, you can watch the recording on our YouTube channel, Joseph Limo. That was amazing. You get 4 or 5 touches in the neighborhood, and that's called building. You're building your brand awareness up just because of one listing. That's huge. I recommend you guys get back in here and reach out.
And one thing, don't forget to put them in your database in your CRM and continue to drip on them. Send them a home value report.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
you
Absolutely.
just keep in touch with them. Follow Lawrence's SOI and keep in touch with them.
Yeah, I
Keep
mean,
top of mind.
and also, Kathy, what we didn't talk about is if you're farming that area or you're going to be taking on a listing in that area, search for other listings in there and contact those agents. See if you can do an open house before your listing appointment in that area. Right now, you go to that open house, do the open house, get all these contacts. Right after that, you go to your listing appointment the next day. Say, hey, I got 15 buyers in this area looking right now.
I love
Right,
it.
so you're actually coming with buyer list to them right now that's looking in this neighborhood.
I love it. Well, guys, you know what? We're at the top of the hour, so I've got a kind of a rapid fire closing remarks. Ladies first, Kathy Ryan, what would you like to say to the agents that are watching this at home?
Just get to work. Show up every single day and work.
That
Have those conversations. I mean, Joseph hit it on the head. That's the main thing to getting business is having conversations.
putting in the work. I appreciate it, Kathy. Lawrence King, what would you like to say to the agents that are watching this at home?
Everyone in your database should know that you're a realtor and you're the go-to realtor, your mother's favorite realtor.
All right. Joseph Lima, what do you got? What closing remarks you want to share with everyone?
Engage with us. I mean, we're clearly here to support and help other agents. It helps us grow. If you're looking for that sense of community of people who actually give a damn and want to grow with you, we're right here.
I love it. I love it. I'd like to go to John Allen real quick if I can. John, thanks for doing the Mortgage Minute today. What's the closing message you'd like to say to the buyer agents or even the listing agents out there about lending?
Well, you guys kind of hit on it, and I was thinking about this the whole time, right? You guys were great, by the way. The biggest thing I would just add or just kind of expand upon is we solve problems when we add value first. Success and income is going to be a symptom of solving problems in an authentic and human way.
Amen.
And whether that's lending, I need to have right realtor partners, I need Tim Yates, I need trust, I need attorneys. I want to have relationships with them so I could say, how are you guys adding value so that I can recommend people to you? How do you recommend people? Who do you have the people to recommend? You're going to be solving problems you're not always the solution for, but solve problems. Income and success will be a natural symptom of it.
Amen. Amen. Hey, Tim Yates, I'd like to close with you real quick. What's the closing message from today's mastermind that you'd like to say to the folks paying attention?
Well, numbers tell a story and numbers don't lie. 9 out of 10 people in your database don't have an estate plan. So homeowners are desperate. They're looking for affordable, simplified estate planning solutions, and that's what we can offer them.
I love it. You guys are awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want to remind you that we're here every week. We're going to close the recording out here in a moment. We will stay on for a few minutes for some behind the scenes Q&A, but I want to invite you to this weekly mastermind. If you're ready to win in 2026, join us next week, Wednesday, February 4th. We've got an amazing special guest, Mac Powell, with the Tony Robbins organization, Unleash the Power Within 2026. This is going to get you fired up and ready to go. You can tune in each Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Join us live at morenowlistings.com. And with that said, I want to give you one last chance to hit the QR code. If you want to take more listings and maximize your success, book a 30-minute strategy session. I want to be a part of your business. I want to take a look under the hood. I want to help you grow. So with that said, my name is Robert Weichelt. For another episode of the More Listings Mastermind, you can catch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify. And again, it's our pleasure to be a part of your day. And remember, we'll see you in escrow.